Welcome back to COMM 1113. Today we're going to start off the semester with Chapter 1. As you're reading Chapter 1, there are a couple things that I want you to think about and pay attention to. The first is that communication is not as easy as we want to think that it is. Remember that communicating doesn't occur just when we tell somebody something. My mom said to me many times growing up, "Clean your room." But did she communicate? Did I hear her? Did her message land in the way that she wanted to? Did I receive it? These are questions that we need to ask when we're thinking about the messages that we send. So as you read through Chapter 1, think about what communication is. Are you a good communicator? Now we'll think more about that when we get to Chapter 2, but now is the time to start thinking about it. As we know, communication is difficult. And Osmo in Chapter 1, he's a little bit of a downer. But I don't want you to get so distraught when you're thinking about communication that you think that you can't do it. I promise you can. You can do this. You can communicate. As you read Chapter 2, there are a couple things that I want you to pay important attention to. The first is that it's so important that we learn how to communicate with ourselves before we can communicate with the outside world. It starts with self-awareness, and that's what Chapter 2 focuses on in its entirety. You'll be talking about yourself, self-concept, self-image, self-esteem, self-concept clarity, and the chapter will provide you clear definitions for all of these. You'll want to read analytically so that you can make sure you're able to discuss these in your discussion board for Module 1. One other thing that I want you to pay attention to is that I'm asking you to look at other people and examine their self-awareness. So I've provided you a video of Corinne and Taylor having a heated conversation from The Bachelor, and I'm asking you to put them on Maslow's framework and discuss their self-awareness in your journal for this module. I've also provided you a self-awareness quiz. This quiz is completely optional. You do not have to turn it into me. I won't be grading it. But if you really want to sit down and examine your own self-awareness, this is a great place to start. I'd encourage that you take it even before you read the chapter. And then finally, I've provided you an article about media usage and how that can affect our mental health. Remember, we do so much communicating through our phones and through social media. What impact does that have? How does that help define or not define who we are or who we see ourselves are? I look forward to hearing about your thoughts on this chapter in your discussion board and in your journal.